Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hello.
SPtv world. As you can see, this morning we have the delightful Nick Brown, Reverend Nick Brown.
Hello. Oh, Nick's fine. Nick is absolutely fine. I don't stand on ceremony, as you might have noticed in the times that you've spoken to me. I'm very straightforward. So, Nick, call me Nick. It's absolutely fine. So, thank you for inviting me, Dawn. It's good to see you.
I'm so grateful to have you here. And thank you so much for stepping into some extremely big shoes.
Heavy shoes, heavy shoes. Yeah.
And heels. Thank you for stepping into those heels.
Well, I'm okay with heels, as you've seen from Facebook. But yes,
those legs. How do you
up? 3 pairs of tights. 3 pairs of tights. that was the way of doing it. But no, I've been sending out healing to Alison ever since I heard. So let's hope she gets back well, and then back here.
Exactly. We just want her to get well. That's all we want right now.
Yes.
Just get her well, and send out love to her husband as well.
Yeah.
And all her family. So yeah, wonderful. So Alison, we miss you. I miss you terribly. Don't take it to your head though. Head's gonna be. Everybody loves me.
Oh yeah, everybody.
It's true though.
In actual fact, last week when I was on my show, I was introducing Amanda, but I was reading the word Alison, and Alison was so firm. I introduced her as Alison, and I did it 3 or 4 times. So definitely in my thoughts in more ways than one. But yes, so thank you for having me. To apologise for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. You were an absolute delight when you first came on the show, and we clicked really well, didn't we, as well?
Yeah. It's the wonderful thing about being in this way of life is that you always tend to meet people that already are as nuts as you are. But then also have so much in common, and you can kind of like pick up that emotional connection first and foremost. So it's really good, and it's nice to be with you again.
Oh, you too, my darling. So should we say some hellos then?
Absolutely. Whitney. Hello, Whitney.
Hello. Who else have we got? We have Mel Walker from Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Mel.
Hey. And Zoe Dobby, hello. We're both well. We hope you're well.
Very well. Zanila Z Dalmini. Forgive me if I've given that wrong. Good morning from South Africa.
Very international today, aren't we?
We're doing well, aren't we?
And Helen Mansell with the butterfly. Oh, we love butterflies. Hello.
Transformation butterflies. Dominique Smith, good morning, Dawn and Nick. Good morning, Dominique.
And Kelly Rocket, oh, what a lovely name. I want one like that.
Yeah,
Kelly Rocket, good morning, welcome.
Oh, do you remember the Rocket Lollies?
Oh, yeah.
Yum. Sorry. Carrie Ann Marshall Kearns, good morning from Ontario, Canada. It's 6 a.m. Oh, Lord have mercy. God bless you.
And Joanne Lewis, hello. Pleased to see you. Welcome.
So many hearts. Iris Jode. Hi, guys. She's put, hi, Iris.
And Kirsty Ann Fogg. And more hearts. We got. It's a day of loving. What can we say?
Day of love. Mark Hay. Oh, lots of flags there. That's my flags.
Hopefully there's enough wind to keep them moving like that.
Yes, it'll be very nice. Keep us all cool.
And Claire Kendall, hello, good morning from Western. Now that's a very local Western Supermare. Good morning.
Yeah. Claire looks a bit rough though, doesn't she? Richard Taylor, morning from Wales. My granddad was Welsh, so I'm sort of like a quarter Welsh.
Oh, wow. Wow, my cousin's Welsh. She's probably watching, to be fair. And Snowley Baker, good morning. Hello, wavy hand time, wavy hand.
Snowley, that's a pretty name. Millie B, good morning. Richard, Dawn, and Nick. Little smiles.
Recognise that name. Christine Davis, good morning
Yes.
to you. And you got Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
Particular, eel, that lot.
Yay.
Dominique Smith, good morning, Dawn and Nick. Good morning, Dominique.
And Deborah Black, good morning from South Wales. Excellent. Well, the Welsh delegation are here.
Yep. Lovely. Julie Monday. And it is Monday. Well done. You're absolutely right. You spelled it wrong. Never mind. Hi, not seen you before. Oh, I'd love to hear from Spirit today, please. Thank you. Welcome to the family.
And Tina Davis Elthorpe from Lincolnshire. Now that's very local to me. I'm in Cambridgeshire on the Norfolk border, so that's quite close.
Cambridge is so posh.
There it is.
Linda Brown. Good morning from Littleport.
Good morning, Mum. Hello.
Oh, is that your mum? Good morning, Mum. Oh, bless. Kirsty Ann Fogg. Hello from Cheshire. Hello, Kirsty.
Good morning.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And Linda Despard Philbrook from the United States, Maine. Oh, Maine. I was watching a Kitchen Nightmares based in Maine last night, actually.
Gosh, and we've got Twinkly Stars, which I love.
Oh, yes.
Martine. So grateful for clouds here. Oh, after a long heat wave.
Oh, yes.
I am. Yes.
I'm also very grateful that I've been getting the easy names.
Oh, yeah.
Kerry Setchell, hi there. Oh,
hi there.
The halo is a go. The halo is a go.
Right. That is fabulous.
Excellent. And
first person, Janine Carew, I hope. I thought she was from New Herondon. She's from New Herondon. A place called New Herondon. Hi, and to both from Cambridgeshire.
See, I'm not the only Cambridgeshirean. You know, I'm not the only little portion. I'm from Littleport. We call ourselves Little Portions. I'm saying.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh, is that Angels?
Yes.
Oh wow. Si. She must be French.
Ah, yes. Yes. You never know.
Maybe she's from the southeast. Who knows? Right. Oh, hello Keith. Right, we're gonna get on with the show now.
Yes. So what are we doing today?
Right.
I love
today. I think. Do you know what? I've been quite emotional recently. I'll be honest with you. And I think, I don't know if it's like some kind of emotional turn in the world for a lot of people, but I think there is this kind of emotional need to reach out, you know? There's always that mental health need, isn't there, as well, and stuff, you know? Which is incredibly important, and self-care. And I thought this morning we would talk about how we can connect with our loved ones, how we can feel that connection, because we have that. We were talking to Richard, weren't we, earlier?
We were, yeah. About
how it must be great for mediums and spiritualists. It must be great for us because we know that there's still that the spirit, that our loved ones are still there, that they still go on.
Yes, absolutely.
And I totally agree with that. But with the caveat that because we know that they go on, we haven't got that kind of cutoff of, oh, okay, they're gone now. That's it. Move on. You know, we haven't got that luxury. We know that they are still out there. They are still in the world of spirit, continuing their life.
Yes.
And we are not with them.
Absolutely. I always equate it to someone has emigrated to a country with no electricity and no internet and no connection, no communication. Yeah. You know they're there.
Yeah.
You're aware of their continued existence, and occasionally they'll send you a letter because someone else will bring and put it through your door. But other than that, you know, you miss that physical connection. And it is that personal interaction that we all have with each other. We were talking about, you know, before we started, about how, you know, we've only met twice and chatted a few times online, but we've got this instant connection,
Rapport.
you know, this rapport. And you know, so you enjoy that and you love that and you experience that. But when you've got that with someone, if they suddenly just disappear,
that's it.
It's okay. So where are they? And you're searching, and it is that our way of life is that continued search.
Yeah, it's not your physical body that I'm. Yeah. It's you. It's the soul that I miss.
Yes. Yeah. And to have that physical interaction at the same time, and to have and certainly, you know, when it comes to family members, I mean, parents, for example, you know, we've experienced that physical connection our whole lives. So to have that physical connection ripped, no matter how warming and no matter how relieving it is to know they go.
Yes. Oh, you've
you
lost him again. Rob, you're back, darling. You're back. It's okay.
Oh, hello. Do you know what? I reckon there's somebody stealing your internet. Because it seems to be fine and then suddenly it just drops. So just wave at me if I disappear. But yeah, that to have that experience your whole life and then suddenly have it lost, whether you can get that connection with them or not, it still hurts. And I think sometimes people don't always realize that about mediums, is that we still hurt too.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. They people think that we sort of walk on clouds and everything is lovely all the time. And it's not like that.
No, definitely.
We have the same feelings, the same emotional loss, you know, just that we have the comfort of knowing we will see them again one day.
Yes. Yeah.
We just don't know when. But there are ways and means of connecting with that loved one.
Absolutely.
And yes, we have the connection of mediums, which is great, you know, and I certainly wouldn't say don't do it. Please continue.
I definitely book mediums.
Yeah, please book me. But you have the ability to do it yourself. Instant connection. You don't have to book a medium. You don't have to wait to have an appointment with a medium. You can communicate with your loved one right in this very moment. Because the connection of love, the physical body dies. Yes, I explain it to my children very simply as possible. It's a car. It's a vehicle. You get a bright, shiny, brand new sports car when you're born, you know, and then you go through life and that car needs some maintenance. It starts to deteriorate. It made the wheels fall, whatever, you know, and it gets to a point where that car is just done. It's now an old banger.
Absolutely.
What do? You get out of the car and you move on with your life.
Absolutely.
You know, and that is the easiest way I could explain it to my children, you know, who are all like under the age of 7, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's easy, and that is the same way I explain it to adults.
I'm gonna say I've always believed that, you know, the way you would explain things to someone who is very, very young is the most effective way of explaining it to everybody, because everyone has different levels of understanding, and there's nothing wrong with that or you know, negative about that. And the more people we can reach by being as simple as possible. I always got myself in trouble when I was developing for coming out with really, really big words.
The pomp and ceremony.
Exactly. And you know, I never did it to make myself look good, although I'm sure that there are people that do that. Oh, let's come out with a few buzzwords and a few big phrases and make ourselves look well educated. I'm definitely not. I went back to GCSE retakes in sixth form. But you know, if you can reach everybody with something that is easily understandable for everybody, you will capture as many people as possible.
Amen.
My Christian spiritualist side, I always use the example of Yeshua, also known as Joshua Carpenter, but better known as Jesus, even though that wasn't his name. But we'll avoid that one for today. He used to translate scripture into parables because he recognized that scripture was over complex, over wordy, not really a relevant language system for the day. So he turned it all into stories that everybody could understand.
Children,
you know, and in days like today, I always say that it's exactly the same as memes and songs and poems. You know, you can get your message across with something that will inspire, will emote, and the simplest and the shortest and sometimes repetitive is better. So a poem, a song, you know, it all
absolutely
works.
You're absolutely right, and that leads us on. Bless you, Spirit. That I can feel that all coming through. I love it. I love when I can sort of feel it from you, and I can hear. They were just up here, weren't they?
Yeah. I was just like, get on with it.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Okay.
You answer.
So right. Well, we have, and Alex. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about music in a minute. We have Linda Brown here, and she says, I have my hubby's fingerprint on a necklace. I always wear it near my heart. Oh, that's lovely. That's a lovely way of keeping your connection with them. In
actual fact, her daughter and her son also have a fingerprint and do the same.
Oh, that's
right here, right now.
Sweet. That's so lovely. I know. It's just Mel Walker.
Yes.
She says, shattered, broken, destroyed, numb, alone, lost, inadequate, lonely, incomplete, empty. And I believe in the spirit world and that my mum is watching over me and we will one day be together in some way again. But that still doesn't help now. I need and want my mum with me in physical form and I can't stop grieving for her. This is what we're talking about. This is what's needed today, I think. When it hurts. There's nothing more painful than losing your mum or someone the woman who gave birth to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feeling. There's nothing worse than. There's nothing more. But you can connect with her now. Okay. You don't need to have that pain, that incredible gut-wrenching pain. If you listen, we were talking about earlier. If you turn on your radio, and all of a sudden a certain song will come on. And it may have been her favorite song, or it may be something that you just needed to hear at that morning that makes you realize that, do you know what, you're not actually alone at all.
Absolutely.
It's just your state of mind. You just think you're alone, but your mum is so close to you. And as we start to let go of that grief, these people that we love can come even closer. Because they don't want to create extra sadness. So when we are in that incredible gut-wrenching pain, God knows we've all been there, we all feel it, you know, we all know what that feels like. There is nothing more equalizing than the pain of grief. We all feel it, we all know what that feels like. And spirit know that if they come really close to us when we are that raw, it can give us even more sadness. So they will step back a little bit until we feel that we can open a bit more, and then they will come closer because they know that we are not so fragile. Would you agree with that, Nick?
Yeah, in an actual fact, the reminder and the image of that is, it's like when you're in a real emotional state as a child, and you've gone up to your room and you've slammed the door and you don't talk to me, and you're really in a real tiswell state, and you're leaning up against the wall at the end of your bed in the fetal position, rocking backwards and forwards, really angry and really upset. Not that I'm being so over graphic, but I'm talking about a literal experience here. And then suddenly there's a knock at the door, and it's just one of your parents saying, hello, I'm here. And you might not answer straight away because you are so angry, so upset, so hurt. But then you will hear that voice saying, I'm here if you need me. And then they will sit and wait until you are able to open that door.
Absolutely.
And I always use that as an example, because
that's a great analogy.
It's once again keeping it simple and something we can all, you know, relate to, no matter where we've been or who we've had in our lives. We've always gone and locked ourselves in a room, and when we're we're not pushing away spirit.
Yeah.
We're just not ready to talk.
Exactly.
But we might be ready to listen.
Yes. And in that listening, sorry, Nick, forgive me. In that listening, it's not just the ears, not just the listening. You might all of a sudden be ready to capture a smell, a fragrance of perfume, or a cigarette smell.
Absolutely.
That's another form of communication, another form of listening. You're listening with, forgive me, you're listening with your nose, you know?
Absolutely.
Or you might taste a certain flavour, like a apple pie or something that was specific to that person. All of a sudden, you'll get it, and you'll think, "Oh my gosh, that was my mum."
Yeah.
You know. But it's when you're ready.
You know it. You know, people will say, "Oh, it's it's somebody down the road. It's a coincidence," but you know it because it's so personal and specific.
Yeah.
Once again, the example I use is when people say, "Oh, they found a feather," it shows that an angel's around. Yes, we know that feather has suddenly come out of the wing of a bird that's just been flying over. But the point is, who arranged for that bird to be flying over at that specific time, for that feather to fall out at that specific time? It's the influence spirit can have. So there is no reason, if they can influence that kind of thing, that they can't influence a playlist on a radio station. I mean, we've got so many opportunities to get a personal message from music these days with iPod playlists and all that sort of thing. You just put something on randomly and it's not random.
Yeah, totally. You think it's random, it's not.
And so it's kind of like them whispering through the door saying, I'm here. And it's that way that they work it's so beautiful. It almost eases the burden of that physical loss. Almost. Yeah. But it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
It's better than the emptiness. So
you have that knowledge that they are there. They're not gone.
Yeah.
As spiritualists, we have that. That's the comfort we have. That's the one comfort we have, that we know that they are not gone.
Absolutely. Bear with me. I think I'm losing battery. 1 second.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, my darling. So I hope that's helped you now. And let's move on. So we've got Kirsty Ann Fox. I lost babies. I'm so broken. I still don't understand why. Bless your soul. Bless your soul. I'll try and answer this bit for you. When babies, when they go to the world, when they come through, we're just talking about she says she lost babies. I'm broken. Still don't understand why. It seems like you'd think it was a complete waste. Why has this happened? Okay. And in my personal knowledge of the spirit world and dimensions, is that when a spirit comes to a mother, whether it goes to full term or whether it's just whether they are born and then they don't stay on the earth plane for a long time, it's a selfless act on their behalf to give the parents and those around them an experience of unconditional love in just a short time that will change their life forever. And it's an opportunity for that spirit to touch the earth plane and experience that incredible love of a mother, of a father, for that short amount of time, so they can go on. And it's unconditional. It's an unconditional, selfless act. You'll have something in that moment that will affect your mind, your heart, your soul forever. That person, that baby, has touched your heart and given you an experience, on a soul level, that death cannot take away from you.
It feels, I think Spirit are really, really on point today with how they're connecting everything together. I'm sure Mum won't mind too much, but my mum who's watching, she lost 7 babies between me and my sister. I'm the youngest. And I've met them. They didn't touch the earth plane, but I've met them. And the way they've explained things to me is they knew they were never going to be physical. They were never planning to come here.
Selfless act. They knew.
There we go. There we go. There she is.
Linda. Mrs. I don't want to say Linda. That's not nice.
You can call her Mum. I'm sure she won't mind. But yeah, they are always around. One of them hangs around with my sister. One of them hangs around with my niece, and they've got a fully developed personality, but they knew that they were never going to make it here. But that connection, that support, that love that you can still feel from spirit.
Yes, yes.
Because the physical is not perfect. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So things don't always work on the physical. But the soul is immortal. The soul is unstoppable.
Definitely.
And to have that like you said, that act of sacrifice, to be able to say, I'm here, I will be with you.
Yeah.
Once again, it goes back to what we said right at the beginning. Yes, we know that we're going to miss, and in some cases not even experience that physical. For a mother, the only person on earth who has experienced that physical connection with that being, that is so intimate.
Yes.
That is so intimate. And you know, as a born male, I'm never going to experience childbirth unless they work out science really well. But so I cannot imagine. No, definitely, I can't even stand a paper cut. But you know, I cannot myself ever know what it is like to experience that absolute personal intimacy of being the only physical being to have had contact with that person
soul.
And that soul. And so they do go on, they grow at whatever rate they feel they wish to. They hang around you.
They don't stay babies.
No.
They meet up with whoever has passed before you. So say your mum, your grandma, great grandparents. They meet up with all those people, and they're nurtured by those people.
Absolutely, and they are really clever too. I was actually, interestingly enough, I was watching a TikTok live. Someone was talking about philosophy last night, and they said that they had seen a medium give two people to this one woman, a 44-year-old male and a 7-year-old boy, but they felt the same.
Yes.
She couldn't understand the 44-year-old male, but they could understand the 7-year-old boy, because they lost him
44 years ago.
44 years ago. And so it was the same being trying to connect in whatever way it could be understood. And that was just so amazing how clever they are at
and beautiful proof, beautiful evidence about that person was growing up, that their life still continues.
Yes, and it shows also that even though they've not been on the physical earth in the sense of impacting many lives, they can still provide that evidence and that validation.
Absolutely, and they may not have the physical experience of growth, but it's like they don't need as long as we do. No. They don't need the length. We don't have to be in this purgatory that we're in.
Yeah.
They are spiritually so more highly evolved that they don't need the earthly experience.
Yes.
You know, I think that's a lot with pets. You know, they say, oh, why do our best friends, our dogs, our cats, why do they have such short lifespans? And I personally think because they are more spiritually evolved than we are.
Yeah.
When I look at dogs, you know, my beloved dogs, they give selflessly everything. You know, they can be beaten, they mistreated, and they still forgive. You know, how many of us can say that we would do that?
Absolutely. And you know, the fact that animals can react and interact with spirit.
Yes.
Without sitting in development circle, without going to a room and sit.
They are more spiritually evolved. They don't need that time on earth. Absolutely.
Yes, they can communicate without physical language.
Absolutely.
I heard some kind of distant voice in my ear, you know, mentioning that. It's like we have here.
Had lost my. This is Martine again. We're gonna do some readings in a moment.
Yeah.
Had lost my dearest young heart pet, aged 4. Oh, old soul, sudden and rare passing. Old soul, and full decline. He is a guide. Have daily white feathers and nature signs and other. His soul is never far away from me. Sorry for sudden and young losses. Toughest loss, yes. Have had it twice. Love and light. Bless you. Thank you so much for that message. That's lovely. Thank you.
And yes, animals as
guides.
Yeah, animals as guides is certainly by any measure not a new thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at all of the ancient cultures with spirituality attached to it, you know, totem animals and animal guides, you know, it simply is.
Yeah. My son, I have twins, twin. I've got three, but twin boys, and one of my twin boys is named after my dog, Ben.
Oh wow!
Because he was literally my soul. You know, he was my bestest friend. He was amazing, and I knew that I wanted the same. I wanted to give thanks for his nobleness. You know, and I thought one of my sons is going to be like that, so I called my son Ben. And he said, "Well, I'm named after a dog." But yes, you're lucky enough to be named after someone who is so highly spiritual.
Absolutely.
Whitney says, you guys on here are the most kind-hearted souls I've come across, and even though I have not met you in person, I've stop it. We're all family on here, darling.
Exactly.
We're all family.
Exactly. And it's that connection, even though we are definitely in a new world where we can interact and meet people from, you know, miles away and never actually physically meet. I've been talking, one of the ministers that I work with, I've known him for years, but we only met last year, and it was like we didn't realize until we physically met that we'd never physically met.
Yeah.
So when you click. Yeah.
Exactly.
Kim says, sometimes there comes a song in my mind and I know that there's a message. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
I call it Ally McBeal mediumship, as I was saying to you earlier. It is Ally McBeal mediumship, and it's absolutely wonderful, especially when you wake up with one in your head.
Yes.
You can't shake it for hours.
Yeah, that's right. Earwig.
Yeah.
What's a song for you before we start the mediumship? What's a song for you that has been the most emotive or gotten you through a time of great pain, or just stuck with you and gone, my God, that's the one?
For me, it's really quite strange. There's some that have been really emotional and painful and that I struggle to listen to, but the one that really, really cracks me in the head and wakes me up and reminds me of what I need to do is Dirty by I think it's Grandad or something. But I'll have to look.
Give me a few bars, Nick.
Well, I'll give you the lines. But do you have enough love in your heart to get your hands dirty?
Oh.
I know it's not easy, but it's a good start. So go and get your hands dirty. And it's talking about being able to reach out and help people. Do you have enough love in your heart? Literally, the sum of it is, do you have enough love in your heart to get your hands dirty? It's saying, come on, if you really care, do something. And whenever I hear that, it is literally, I know spirit
right, come on,
smacking me in the head and saying, come on. And it's also a good reminder of how to be, you know, in this world. I know it's a new world with great technology, but it also means that people can be a lot more grumpy. A lot more publicly. So for that, Dirty for me. You know, it's a weird song. It's a weird title to actually. But then
I'll have to listen to that. It sounds wonderful.
I'll send you a link.
Send me the link for it.
So what about you?
Me? Well, I've always been connected to and I don't know what it's called, but it goes I just wish I could have told him in the living years. I don't remember what it's called, but it reminds me. Yes, my dad died, and it was just, I still to this day I can still have a cry about him easily. You know, you've only got to mention something, and I'm like, ugh. But I see him. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that I see him regularly. You know, but I can't physically hold him. You know.
Yeah.
But that song kind of reminds me to every day, before you hang up the phone or whatever you're doing, tell that person, I love you.
Yes.
Because it could be the last time you get to say it to them while they're on earth.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And to appreciate that. And don't be angry. If you're angry with someone, you're going to be angry with someone. but don't let it last over bedtime.
Yeah.
You know, don't go to bed without saying, even if you go, love you.
Yeah. It was my nan's favourite saying, actually, never let the sun go down on an argument.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want to be, and that reminds me, that reminds me to say I love you.
Yeah.
And that everyone needs to hear it. They need to hear it. So, my darlings, this is a beautiful show today. I feel this is very lovely. It's very lovely. So shall we have a...
Oh, we have a freeze. I hope it's not just me as well. Oh, she's caught up. You're back.
Am I here? Am I here? Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, cool. Yes. So should we have a round of names, Richard, or are we just going to move into the mediumship? I've got a granddad coming in with me at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to go back. Okay. I think I'm just going to need to give you what I've got, because I've got granddad coming in really strong, and it'll be one of the earlier names on that you had, I think. Okay. I have this granddad with me, and I know I've got granddad because I've got my own granddad coming through, and that's how it works for me. Oh, bless you, Mr. Blue Skies for me. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And as he comes through, he's giving me like I think it's naval uniform. It's the navy coloured smart dress uniform. Okay. So this is something that you would have worn for the whether it's ceremonial or for appearances sake, you know, while you were in the Navy. And I can even see behind me, it's like I'm standing on this big naval ship, and it's all kind of like a battleship, like all grey, and you know. Are you connecting with us at all?
Yes, I saw him standing on the deck as you mentioned it.
Perfect. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Oh, and the word Gibraltar just come in as well. So this may... I haven't got a strong connection with the word Gibraltar, but I can tell you that it's in there. It's in there. So perhaps he went to Gibraltar as part of his sailing. And the name Keith comes up as well. The name Keith as well. Okay. Do we have anyone who this connects with at the moment? Not yet. Okay.
And if I may just,
yes,
one of the things that I was when I was linking in with you, that I was picking up from him, is that he was obviously in the Navy, but he wasn't there his whole life. He did do other things within his working life. So, and I do feel that particular time was of great turmoil. So I don't believe that he was someone who's only just passed that recently. I feel he would have been of an age.
Yes.
So it would have been around the time of the 40s when he would have been in the Navy, and that he'd come home and he was one of
Susan
the
Ross.
Hello,
with
Susan.
a beautiful spiritual sunflower. Thank you. Love that. Okay. And Linda Davies, my dad was a sailor. He went to...
Well, you know,
she says he went to the spirit world.
Gibraltar.
Oh, he went to Gibraltar. Thank you. Okay, this could be... thank you very much. My dad was a sailor. He also went to Gibraltar. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. I know you... Richard's going, it's a G. Because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be a He couldn't help himself.
There you go. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you. Bless you. Okay. Right. I know that he lived to quite a good age. Okay. He didn't pass young. He lived to quite a good age. So it wasn't the sea that killed him or nothing like that. Okay. He just died of quite an old age. And it comes across as quite a what you would class as a natural passing. It wasn't through anything major, nothing accident, nothing like that. It was a natural passing he had. And I want to talk. I feel like I want to talk to granddaughter because I have granddad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need. Sorry, I'm really hot. I need to talk to granddaughter. Okay.
And in actual fact, what he's doing is he keeps going back. The irony is he keeps going back to Gibraltar and using that term "rock and a hard place." So I actually feel that whoever he's reaching out to, that either Susan as the granddaughter, or the rock and the hard place is the reason he wants to, just shake you up. Yeah,
absolutely. You are going. We have Linda David. Yes, he's 83. Thank you, bless you. And Susan 80. Yeah, he lived to this good age. This is exactly the age we're looking at. He says you have a brown teddy bear, and it's a teddy bear. It's not a knitted teddy bear. It's like a fluffy kind of old. It's a bit.
The proper one with patches.
Yeah, that's it.
Scuffs.
He wants to tell me that you have that, so that will separate who you are. Okay, and the name Glyn. Oh, I've got right, Glyn Edwards. Okay, Glyn Edwards, very famous medium.
Yeah.
So one of you either blessing to have worked with him once. So one of you must have this experience with him. There must be a Glyn Edwards, whether you've got the book, there must be a Glyn Edwards connection here. Do you understand that, Nick? I don't know if you're getting that. But
I dismissed it because I actually met him twice. But I should have listened. Lesson for everyone.
Yes.
But it is that there is, like you said, there's some kind of personal, emotional connection with the work of, or maybe even personal.
And Glyn Edwards, he had this might be important. When I knew him, I didn't know him when he was younger. I knew him in his older life. He had his face kind of not me for Glyn Edwards. Yeah. Okay, his face kind of dropped, didn't it?
He'd had a stroke.
And he had a stroke. And when I asked him because we talked about it, he said, "Oh, the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know." Yeah, so didn't know how it happened. And his voice was different, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and I get the feeling that is kind of like a synchronicity message. That there's more to that in connection with this gentleman.
Yeah.
Susan says not me.
Not
so
me. Okay. And I've all of a sudden got some toothache as well. So whether one of you's got some toothache or some teeth missing, something like that here. Okay. Right, we're not getting anything yet. Anyone coming through with any of that? Nope.
Nope,
nothing at all.
Oh, so it's all gone quiet.
It's all gone quiet. Okay.
Going back to just standing on the deck, I do feel that he would have learnt so much about life from his experiences.
Show me a big son, as you say. He learnt so much.
Yeah, and one of the things that he's standing there mopping the deck, and then he's kind of flipping and showing that he would have done the cleaning at home. So it made him more of an equal person in the world, and not. He wasn't the kind of person that would have specific roles for specific people and genders and within the family. He liked to muck in.
Yes,
he liked
absolutely.
to get on with it and help out. And that's
he was a family man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a family man. He understood that, like you say, muck in. He understood that if we need to do the dishes, he's happy to do the dishes. It wasn't women's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was happy to do anything like that. And he's also we have I feel like it might be sister for him as well. There's a sister connection there as well. Have we lost you all? I've got nothing coming up at all.
We've lost everybody.
Okay. Well, if we can't get that connection, please take your grandparents, your grandfather's love. Know that they are around. Had grandfather in army, but not naval. He passed. No, that's not it. No. Granddad had a stroke too. Yep. No Glyn Edwards connection.
To be fair, that could be the connection.
Okay. My mum's husband was called Glyn. Okay.
So they were using, just like with the songs that we were talking about, they were using our memories.
And I always say to people that it is not spirit that gets it wrong. Yeah. Spirit give me what I've got in my head. It's my fault if I get it wrong. The only way I know how to say Glyn is if they give me the connection of Glyn Edwards.
Yeah.
So if I give that to you wrong, I apologise. Okay. But I feel we could well be here. And he's given you the stroke as well. Okay. Which Glyn Edwards had. Okay. Could be my granddad had a stroke too. No Glyn Edwards connection, but my mum's husband was called Glyn. Okay. Okay.
And would you Abby? Would you understand about the mucking in? And
oh, sorry, Karen. Yeah.
With all the mucking in, and there was no specified gender roles. He would get in the kitchen and make the tea, and so actually that when it comes to his wife, I feel he looked after her towards the end of her life. Certainly with all of the cooking and cleaning, it wasn't ever a burden because he was just so used to
I'm looking at a little lady. No, that's so clever. Oh, okay. Yes, I get it. Yeah, you're talking about how spirit use it. Yeah, absolutely. Spirit will use all sorts of things, and that's what comes back again to us talking about how you can connect with your loved ones. They will use anything. Yes, definitely.
For his
time. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So we are here. We are definitely here. Thank you so much, Abby. I need to give you. He's just given me a yellow rose for you. Okay. I tend to get quite a lot of yellow flowers for people, but he gives me a yellow rose. And yellow roses for me, they're well known as being the rose of the friendship, and tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. So yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Richard's singing. We're coming back to songs again. Okay.
Yeah.
This is how spirit connects. This is all messages about how spirit can connect with you. Please, you don't need to wait to book a medium. You can do this now for yourself.
In actual fact, I've got a funny feeling that Abby has been drawn to opening. You know, you can actually get books with just the words of the day or a simple message. And I think
she's already got one.
She's already got one, or does something similar, or has been watching someone who does that for them. But you don't need other people to do it for yourself. In actual Thank you. As soon as I said don't need other people to do things for yourself, you're very much in that situation at the moment, Abby, that people are trying to impact you and change you, but you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, and you don't need other people to tell you how to do things. We've been talking about that a lot regarding mediumship today, but this isn't necessarily mediumship in your life that he's giving me that for. There's certainly something in your life where you don't need telling what to do. You know what you're doing, so get on with it. And you know, I see that picture, and there's this really, really wonderful grin, and I just want to grab your cheeks.
Oh my lord!
And I do feel that that's the kind of thing that either he or you would do, just to get a reaction, because he loved to get a reaction out of people. When I spoke earlier about someone sitting at the door and waiting.
Yes, books and cards always watch there at Andrew. Life tends to turn to others. Yeah,
definitely. So you know, he's
confidence in your own abilities.
He is sitting at the door waiting for you to get it open.
Yeah,
you know, just that image in my mind was so clear again, but it wasn't me this time, thank God.
Bless you. Thank you so much, Abby. Please start using your books, your cards, flick open something and you'll get a message. You will get a message.
I will say,
working with us.
I will. Yes. So it's this is what you watch. Grab yourself some cards, but don't read books. Read the headings.
Yeah. Don't read
the headings.
The how-to books.
Maybe the first sentence, but forget everything else. Whatever is in your heart. Like, yes, sometimes you will make a boo-boo. We all do.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they will use your thoughts and memories to get the message across.
Exactly.
And you will get there if you are you are a very persistent lady, and you don't give up easily. Although you're not as keen to. Sorry, he's really getting into it now. You used to be so stubborn. Now you're a lot calmer with it. Yeah. But don't give up. Don't give up.
I think we should move on now, my darling.
Yes.
But bless you. Should we have some I forgot what the word is now. Who's on tonight? Adverts. That's the word I'm looking for. Adverts. That's the word I wanted. Okay, we'll be back in a moment.
Back soon.
My Spirit Life is a free online interactive magazine for those who have an interest in improving their spiritual lives. Authors can upload images, videos, and audio clips to their own articles. The public can place comments, rate the article, and follow the author. All articles are vetted before being published. For more information and to place your own article, please visit myspiritlife.co.uk.
MySpiritualDirectory.com is one of the fastest growing online free listing service. Our search directory offers geolocation feature, rating ability, review system, map location, customer comment, YouTube video, gallery, social media sharing, direct contact with the lister, simple online booking and payment system. It's free to register and use. It even creates your own mini web page, which you can update at any time, and yes, it's still free, no monthly or yearly fees. 100% free. Creates your own profile page. Add social media and other links. Add a mini gallery and a YouTube video. Rating, reviews and comments. Includes online booking and payments. So, if you're looking for a medium or a reader, even a church, maybe a healer, or any other spiritual service, then visit myspiritualdirectory.com.
SPtv are proud to present an evening of mediumship with the wonderful Deb Clark. Join us for a private event on the 20th of August 2022 at the Roebuck Inn, Wickham. For more details visit events.spiritualpsychicstv.online. Join Jane Morton, the psychic counselor, tomorrow night from 8 p.m. for advice, guidance and readings.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you very much. Just to let you know that this evening, at I think it's about 8 o'clock, I think, we have Richard, our producer.
Friday, 19th.
Friday.
Friday the 19th.
Friday. Oh, goodness me. Ignore me. Totally ignore me. Friday evening, we have Richard and Katie. What's Katie's surname? Do we know? No, Katie, the fabulous Katie. Katie, you know you are.
Katie and Richard.
And Richard, with Katie will be doing some mediumship, and Richard will probably just be moaning.
It's been renamed Moaning and Messages for a Friday now. I think it's lovely.
M&M's. Right. Well, there we go. We'll get Richard some peanut M&M's.
That should cheer him up.
He can eat with it while he's in his Winnebago. Millie B. She says, "Can I ask a question, please?" Yes, please do. Do you believe when we go back to spirit world, it is more beautiful than the life as human form? I feel scared about dying, always have, but I hope it's amazing out there. Oh, Millie, can I just stop you straight away, please? There is nothing to be scared of. From all of my knowledge And even if I haven't had knowledge, what I know within my soul as a spirit in a physical form, I know that I am going to a magnificent place, but not just that the place will be magnificent. I won't have the physical eyes and the physical ears that stop me experiencing the beautiful worlds. I will have the spiritual eyes and the spiritual ears, the spiritual nose, all the spiritual senses, not encompassed by this physical abilities. I can't hear bird song as well as I'll be able to with my spiritual ears. What I think of is beautiful sound is nothing compared to how it will sound when I have my spiritual ears. A beautiful fragrance is, oh, to smell a rose, how beautiful. It's nothing compared to what it will be like when I don't have this physical nuisance that I'm carrying around with me all the time. When I go to the spirit, that's why when spirit come with, they see us as being the most beautiful things in the world. We look at each other and think, oh, we're okay. But when we have the physical, we no longer have our physical, our rubbish, useless physical, bodies. We will see our world as magnificent. And when we go to the spiritual planes, we will be able to experience even more magnificence.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the best way I can explain it to you.
In actual, I love the bit about the birds, because I asked my guide something similar to this once, and he said, have you ever had that brief instant in your life when everything's been right and you feel calm, at peace and happy, and it only lasts a minute, and then add on top of that the fact that you will be able to hear the emotion and understand the emotion of bird song, and be able to take part in the drumming noise of the crickets, times that all by 1,000,000.
Yeah,
and it's still nothing compared to how much joy and peace and this is a word that is so underrated. Contented.
Oh yes,
content. Absolutely. And to that image of being able to experience the emotion of birdsong has stayed with me for the last 5 years since he answered the question. It's so when you said that, I was like, I know where you're coming from with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heaven isn't a place; it's a state of mind.
It's not up there, so many million miles up. It's not there. Your loved ones aren't up there. They're here. They're right here with you. And like you say, it's state of mind. It's just behind the veil. It's your state of mind. The veil is you opening to see it.
And going back to what we were saying earlier about missing hugs, and Millie, I think this is really important for you. I don't know why. But we were talking earlier about missing that physical connection, the hugs. We feel really, really betrayed to not feel that, but we are paid back by the fact that a hug is no longer a connection between two physical beings, but an intermingling and blending.
Yes.
Blending of two beings. And to be able to not just feel the warmth, but actually experience the love as well, permanently.
Yes.
It's this is the funny thing, and Millie, I always thought it was.
We're taught to believe that heaven is there and hell is down low. We're taught that from day one, aren't we?
And the thing that I find quite funny about that is, with all the exploration that we can look millions and billions of miles out into the universe, we still haven't found the physical heaven up there.
No.
But the amount of miles between us and the center of the earth is minuscule in comparison. So if heaven's above and hell's below, then where is it? We should have found it. We haven't, because number one, there is no hell.
Exactly.
Gotta get that one in really quickly.
Thank you. There's so many millions of people I want to say to. There is no hell.
Apart from the physically created hell of our own making, or connections that we have that create a hell, Richard. But heaven is a state of being and is everywhere. My favorite way of describing it is, we called it an interpenetrating universe. And the way to figure it out is, if you put your fingers in front of your face like that, your fingers represent the physical world. But the higher the vibration, and represent that by moving your fingers really, you can see through it. Your fingers start to become blurred and then invisible. And so imagine such a fast vibration, you can't physically see it.
It's such a refined vibration, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we ascend our soul and our thoughts to reach that connection to that vibration. And so, you know, it is the heaven, the universe, the source, the higher realms, the spirit world, the Summerland, whatever it is that you want to call it.
We just need, because there is, like we spoke on a previous show, there is no thing as space and time.
Yeah.
So if there was a thing as space and time in the spirit world, we would have found it by now. We'd have got on a rocket ship and found it by now.
Yes.
But there is no such thing as space and time. So we can't. It doesn't exist. That place we call heaven or whatever, the Summerland, does not exist. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all around us. Our spirit loved ones are with us all the time. They're not in a specific place.
Yeah.
They're not in a country, a place.
And that idea of the interpenetrating universe, to think that all of heaven is within and around, and you know,
stop, you're connecting too much. I love it. I love it. Let's do another reading. We need to do another reading. Let's do another one. I'm loving this too much.
Yes, right. Let's. I think it's my turn to start, isn't it?
Your turn to start, my darling.
Earn my keep. Earn that half a bag of M&Ms that I nicked off Richard last week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Instantly, I'm made aware of a very maternal figure. Looking at her and the way she's representing and carrying herself is quite important. The way she's carrying herself, I feel very grandmotherly. And I think she came in because of that talk about hugs. When she gave you a hug, it was like I described the hugs in spirit. You knew how much she loved you by the way she squeezed you and held you and picked you up and carried you. And you know, she's showing herself. Yes, she was carrying a comfortable padding.
Let's say she had a bit of roundness. She was full around here.
Yes. Comfortably padded. Yeah. And it's again that's the thing that draws people to her, is her eyes and her warmth in her smile. Her eyes would just pull you in.
She had specific colour. I don't know if they were blue eyes.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure out the colour because it seemed it's almost like they shined like diamonds.
Yeah, they were so bright. You noticed that, and she had a specific kind of smile that drew you in.
Yes, yeah, and everything about her just made you feel that content. There's that word again, contentment.
This is precious. That's Dominique Smith, I've got to read this. My daughter says my granddad lives in our attic and sleeps in our bath on occasion. She's probably seen him.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't live in your attic, but she's seen him in the attic at some point, because he's wanted to give her a glimpse of, you know.
We have a connection like as well.
Christine Davies, wonderful. Sounds like my nanny.
Nanny. And actually, the glasses. Big glasses.
Green eyes and curvy. She gave amazing hugs and lovely smile. All straight white teeth. Bless.
So we've got two potentials here. Three.
Like my man, big squash and squeeze hug. She was comfortably padded. She had. She wants to talk about her boobs.
bosom.
Her bosom. She's saying that she would. That was part of the hug experience.
Yeah,
I know that sounds kind of, but we all love it. I mean, you love being it. It's a woman thing, isn't it? You know?
Absolutely. In an actual fact, that maternal side of her, you know.
Yeah, she's very, very, very connected to being a mum, embracing.
And when you said what you said, actually, there was also that element of protection, of bringing you in, and keeping you safe. It's like for that brief moment, the whole world just disappeared. Yeah. Such a beautiful soul.
That's not my nan. She's talking about, you know, my nanny had blue eyes. She's talking to me now about her stomach. And she's bringing my nan in. My nan had a problem with her stomach. Her stomach was always bloated. It was always bigger than it should have been, you know. And she was a very strong lady, but she was also quite emotional. Okay. You would have been able to. I'm going to tell you about my nan. You would have been able to run to her, and she would have understood you instantly, without you having to talk to her. You didn't have to use language to tell her what you were feeling. She would just know.
Yeah, that look in her, it's like she peered into your soul. The reason she brought you in was to analyze you.
I know that the person we're coming, I know if this is Chrissy, I know that you are going through emotional need at the moment, okay? You are going through quite a lot of distress. She's showing me this, okay? So I know there's a lot of pain, a lot of just I don't know, there's anxiety, a little bit of depression maybe, and she wants to come in and give you something for that. She's put in her, yes, my nanny had stomach problems, thank you. She put in her arms around your shoulders and giving you this feeling of containing you, like I feel like you've been feeling that my nana had a big bosom. My nana passed away with a stomach problem. Yeah. Okay. We've got quite a few people now. This lady, I want to say her stomach was bloated. Okay, that's important. Okay.
And she would have made light of it as well, and
yeah, she would have joked about it.
Kept it quiet, and
it would have been something that it was if she was in the mood, she would have joked about it.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay. Yogurt is important. She's brought me through a pot of yogurt, so I know she would have eaten yogurt. That would have been something she enjoyed. Yogurt.
In actual fact, there's something about the way she rattled the spoon on her teeth, because my teeth had just gone standing on edge. You know, when you get in contact with metal, and there was something about the way she would rattle the spoon in her teeth, whatever that is. But I also know that she was a huge defender, and all of this lovely side. If someone upset you and she had to take them to task, all of that would drift away, and you would not see that, because she was the sternest defender of those.
I've got Sally coming through. Sally, the name, when Margaret said any names, I've got the name of Sally coming through. I'm not sure that's her name, but I've got Sally. Whether this is, oh my gosh, I've got my nan coming so close to me right now. And I'm just going to give you what I can. Yes, I have in the last 4 weeks. Thank you. Would you understand? Yes, she jokes about it. Yes, thank you, Christine. Thank you. Would you always had yogurt? Thank you. We are definitely with Christine, I would say.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
she made it. Okay, whatever. Okay. Right, let's get back with her again. She's a beautiful soul. She wiggled. She did a little wiggle dance. She had a nice sense of humour. This lady was a good sense of humour.
And
she did a little dance.
And the one thing I'm getting through, especially with all the fun side of her, is that she really knew how to let her hair down. And I would say that in her youth, I believe there is a phrase that's probably inappropriate, but never mind. The only way I can do that.
She was a girl. She was we picked up the same word.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a girl.
A bit of a girl, yeah.
I cannot tell you, my nan is right here. She's stuck inside my hair at the moment. She's that close. Because the person I have with me had almost an identical soul to my nan.
Yes.
Okay. My nan was the site. I'm going to explain to you exactly what she was. She would be able to tell you, she wouldn't know exactly how you felt when you come in the door and you come in crying in the door. She'd say, what's wrong? And you go, ah! And she'd go, okay, yeah. And she knew exactly.
Yeah.
And she would give you, she'd give you a sweet or do something and you'd be sorted. Yeah. She would make you laugh constantly. She was your best friend, your play friend. Yes,
yeah.
like her. Yes.
Yeah. And in actual fact, we talk about songs and everything, and there is a divine irony here. The song that I'm reminded of that describes her is that song that I will try to fix you.
Oh God, I love that song.
It's that whole emotion within it, and that sentiment that really ties that. She knows the difficulty you face. She knows the problems you experience, and she's there to try to fix you. And I can even hear the piano in the background. Yeah.
Oh, bless her soul. She really wants to give you comfort at this time. Okay. She wants to give you. Oh, she's showing me a door in your forehead. Okay. She is opening it up and releasing the pressure. Okay, she's opening the door to let all the birds fly out, all the crows, let them fly out. This is all. I'm just telling you exactly what I see in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. Let all the chatter come out. Let all the pressure. Let the birds, all the crows, let the birds come out. Okay. And just have some peace, and that's what she wants to give you.
In actual fact, that descriptive way was how she was as well.
Yeah, she was. She was very good at stories. She was very good at telling stories.
That's it. Yes. And making things, going back, as simple as possible to make it understand and visual and graphic. And she could be quite graphic from time to time, especially when she got wound up.
She knows what I'm going through.
Yeah. So absolutely, she's there to support
her love.
Fight your corner every step of the way.
I don't know if the name's Sally. I keep getting the name Sally again. It could just be my nan, because my nan's name was Sally. But if it connects, that was the same here with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't her real name, but she got people to call her Sally. Called her Sally. So if that name connects, also she wants me to give you the name Pops as well. I can't tell you. Okay. Oh my gosh. There must be a Pop. There must be a name that resides there like that. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And violets. African violets.
African violets.
She just held this. I love them. They remind me of my other nan actually. But she just had this pot of African violets in her hand. The richness of it. Yeah. She was a joker. Yeah, she was a joker as well, because she just turned around and she said, "It's a much better colour purple than your shirt." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." Yeah, she didn't stand on ceremony and didn't care, and that's why I love her.
She wouldn't have
care about airs and graces. No airs and graces. You are human. You do all the same functions and facilities as me, as polite as way as she put it. Yes. So we are, and she's absolute, and she is right.
Cologne. She's giving me cologne.
Mm.
She's not saying perfume. She's giving me cologne.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, my darling. My nickname as a child was Poppet. Yay!
Pop, me.
Thank you, my darling. Now, I have to say a big thank you to my nan, because my nan helps me a lot with messages, and so does my granddad and my dad. All three of them help me. If I've got a dad coming through with certain conditions of how he passed, I'll get my dad to come through. If it's my nan who wants to connect with a granddaughter or something like that, I'll get conditions like that. And they give me all their conditions and all the way and things that I would know about them, because the spirit knows what's in your head.
Absolutely. And it's that randomly wonderfly tied in thing about spirit that I absolutely Glasgow. Hello up. Last time I was in Scotland, I was in Edinburgh, and it seems like forever. Lovely. I love Scotland. Apparently I'm part of Clan Macmillan. Because I'm a brown, you see, we're not entitled to our own clan, even though there's so many of them. But one of the things, can
we wish Mum and Dad happy wedding anniversary? Bobby Blanche Dylan Lejeune. Is this French or something? Anyway,
absolutely.
Happy wedding anniversary to Bobby Blanche Dylan. I'm not going to say the name because I know Louis, John,
Lou, Joan, and Cassie. I know Cassie. That's my niece's name.
Right, okay, well done, Dillion Lou. So happy wedding anniversary to you.
Absolutely.
Happy wedding to Joan's dad. Happy anniversary. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Bless him, bless him. And do you know what? One of the things that I've noticed about our conversing today is right from the get-go, it's all been about, and it's been about dads. And if you remember, we were talking to Richard before we started about that. And once again, it was about songs. James Blunt,
Yeah.
Monsters. You know, it seems like a name that would really, really be like, oh, you wouldn't be talking about that, but actually, the words behind it are so amazing that
they don't care. They just want to get the message through.
Absolutely, and the emotional resonance that Richard had with that, and you know, we both got grandmas called Sally.
Yeah.
You know, and they help out with. I know my grandparents help out. My dad in particular really has that, and you know, the emotion today has been quite amazing.
It's been beautiful.
And you know, so I know that James Blunt's Monsters, which was about him losing his dad, was something that really grabbed hold of Richard. And I think he did say that he's going to share links to those songs as well.
That'd be wonderful.
But also, you know, we were talking about ways of connecting and how the modern day is as it is. And Harry Styles' Sign of the Times was also a song that Richard mentioned that resonated with him. And I really do believe this is a really cheesy spirit link, which I love. It really is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
That people are so emotionally connected, because let's be honest, back when I was
too much technology that prevents us from being connected to each other.
Exactly. And you know, back when I was a kid, you know, if you wanted an emotional song, it would quite often be the women singers that would make that emotional connection. But as we have moved forward, the emotional connection for men has improved dramatically. You know, we finally got over ourselves. We've got over ourselves basically and started allowing ourselves to be emotional. And you know, Harry Styles in particular is another one of those modern guys who doesn't give a stuff what people think. So, and I think that is really for me, the message that I always get from Spirit is stop caring what people think and go out there and get your answers.
Yeah, absolutely. And question Spirit. Question them.
Yes.
Question them. Don't take everything blindly. You wouldn't do it in life, so why do it in death? You know?
Absolutely. You know, we've shared our thoughts and our feelings about it. Now go out and look for it.
Sorry, I must read this. So excuse me. Right, this is Ingrid Kinder, kind of. Right now, my brother has not returned from sea. He keeps saying the sea is very rough and they can't go home yet. I'm worried. Can't bear to lose another family member. It will break me. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Please, let's send out healing for Ingrid's brother. What's your brother's name, my darling? If we can, it's not majorly important, but if we can just send out healing for him, and to anybody else who's in a similar situation, who just wants them to come home.
In an actual fact, right now,
I've got your healing book.
I've got my healing book, which is always right beside me. I'm just going to write Ingrid's brother.
Right. Fantastic.
And everyone, I think, should have a healing book.
Yes.
So that they can do this physical.
Yeah, definitely. Because we always have healing books in church. Don't wait for that. Have a book, have a notebook at home. And you could just be writing people's names in. And then before you go to bed or whatever, Dennis, his name is Dennis.
Dennis.
Send out our love and healing to Dennis.
And also to you too, Ingrid. Also
and Ingrid and all your family. And to anybody else who is out at sea at the moment, or whatever situation you're in. Please, Lord, please send out healing to all those in need. Thank you. Beautiful blue light around us all. Amen.
And do you know what the other thing about sending out healing is? People always ask me how to do it. You know, that's the first question. just think about them and send kind thoughts. And if it helps, once again, here we go with it. Listen to some really relaxing, peaceful, uplifting music to help boost those energy levels.
You're not alone. I have to shout this out to everybody. You are never ever alone. People say to me, "Oh, all my family have passed. Everyone's passed. I'm the only one left." You're not the only one left. You are the only one physically on this earth plane, but you are not alone.
Wow, a healing pyramid that Joanne uses to put names on.
Lovely.
And you know that feeling of never being alone is always hardest when you're in difficulty.
You're in the moment.
But it always reminds me of that parable of the footsteps in the sand.
Oh, I've got the song. It's you're not alone. You wait till the end of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just come to me.
And you know that thought of
clubbing days.
Now. I don't think I'd be able to share some of the songs that I used to listen to in my clubbing days. I was a bit of a raver. In my day for about a fortnight. You know, I never fell asleep on top of a speaker in a nightclub at all.
Oh, of course not. I never threw up in somebody's shoe.
But I had friends around me who looked after me, and that's the thing. And that is the thing. That the whole story of Footsteps reminds us that when we look back on our life and think we were alone, we were being carried. We just didn't know it. And I think everyone who's in need right now needs to remember that you might feel alone, but it's not your footsteps in the sand. It's someone carrying you and carrying those you love, like Dennis. He will be carried, please God, to safety.
Please God to safety. Amen.
And a happy reunion to him, I'm sure.
And a happy reunion to all those going on the way on their home to spirit as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, Richard! You won't believe. I know you guys can't hear him. I can't. I don't even know.
I'm gonna address that because Richard has just said, if spirit have no feet, how can there be footprints in the sand? Because, my darling, it is a metaphor.
Yes, and not only that, may I just tell you very quickly, if you go to the Arthur Findlay College, in the library, the museum upstairs, Yes, I think you will see hands made in wax. In the Victorian times, people would have bowls of wax and a bowl of freezing cold water, and spirit would be able to put their hands in the water. And if you look at the casts, you can look online. You don't have to do that. You can look at the casts, and there is no way that those hands can be taken out of the wax without breaking the wax.
Yes.
So it's not physically possible to remove your hands from the wax, otherwise the wax would be shattered in the position that they are in.
Yes, and because they remember what their physical appearance was like, they can project it either mentally, as in spiritual mediumship, or project it physically using an etheric duplicate manipulating ectoplasmic substances.
Thank you.
It just shows that I listen. It's a shame we can't see his face now because he's probably pulling faces at us right now.
Yeah.
But
it's middle finger. I'm glad we can't see.
But the point is, it's a really, really good question, and sometimes.
Thank you, Millie B. It's an amazing show. Bless you.
Bless you. Thank you, Millie. You know, I'm very drawn to you. I've seen your name before. I know you've been about when I've been on here before. But, you know, it's actually a really, all joking aside, it's a really good point that Richard makes, because we talk about making sure we talk about things as simple as possible. We do use a lot of metaphors to try and get that message across. And sometimes it can be a bit confusing because the metaphor can sometimes contradict the actual and simple in the wax. They are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. And so revealing of what is possible. Anything is possible. But seriously, you know, all joking aside, Richard's point is a very valid one, because sometimes the metaphor can get lost.
Yeah.
So we have to remember to point out that it's a metaphor every time. I get in trouble.
Kerry's put, they made a mould first and poured the wax in.
Poured the wax in.
Do you mean? I'm confused. No, it hasn't shattered it in the
How
slightest.
would
that
mold
possible?
come out of the wax, because the wax would break though?
Yeah, it's not possible.
Unless
unless
you were to blow up a glove and shrink it. I don't know. I
don't think
okay.
Right.
Anyway,
so Kerry, we all have our opinions on things, okay? And your opinion is perfectly valid.
And as was pointed out earlier, question everything.
Question spirit.
No, I love to actually try and look into how it's possible first.
I actually have a book that I brought on it, actually. So
you know, it's important to question everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what we shouldn't question is the ability to make us feel uplifted with that spiritual connection.
Absolutely.
We should seek it actively.
Yes. Amen. Absolutely.
And, you know, but in there we find our evidence and proof. So we're still questioning it, but we're getting the answers to that.
We've had so many lovely messages in. Thank you.
I think
we're gonna start ending the show now.
It's getting that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to share this time with everyone, with my new family, because I know I'm still the baby of the family. Even though I keep poking getting all over the place, I'm like one of these kids running around with dirty hands, putting it all over the walls.
Thank you to everybody. We're going to sign off now as well. So thank you, Ingrid. Thank you for that lovely message. Thank you, everyone. Please take love and healing and prayers to all who need it. And sorry, Richard, I missed that. Yes, we have Matt and Kirsty on this evening. It's at 8 o'clock, Richard, as usual. Yeah. So that's going to be awesome. I love Matt and Kirsty. They're fantastic.
They are. Yeah, I was speaking to Matt the other day. Actually, he's such a lovely, genuine guy. And
I know.
I don't think we sell that enough. The genuine heart of the medium does make a difference.
Definitely.
Really, really does. So tune in for that tonight. Definitely. I will. I'll stop in and say hello. And you know, thank you to everyone who's, you know, been so kind.
Thank you to Richard for producing today. And love out to Alison. Mustn't forget our beautiful Alison.
Definitely. She's in this. I rewrite her name every day.
Sorry, what's this? Thank you so much for connecting earlier. I'm so sorry. It was Grandad figure who initially jumped to mind rather than my actual granddad. Sorry. There were two things that made me realise after, but I hadn't realised there were so many similarities between the two of them. How special.
Yeah, wonderful. Brilliant. Brilliant.
And on that note, I think that's a good place to end.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Nick, it's been an absolute joy to have you, my darling.
And a joy to be with you. And and if I'm allowed, I'll come back next week and keep you company.
Go on then.
But in the meantime, everybody, go and find a radio or a playlist on the internet.
Open a book.
Listen to things, listen to spirit, and get your own messages.
Absolutely. And until then, keep it SPtv.
Definitely do. God bless
everyone.